Here we are. How's it going, Coach?
Good to see you, my friend.
Man, so cool to have you back. I looked at Skype. It's been 4 months that we did that podcast before. So thanks for coming back, man.
Yeah, we're overdue.
Yeah, and what a crazy 4 months it's been, right? There was none of this quarantine, no corona, no anything.
Right? That was a whole different world.
Yeah. Look, you're in your garage there. I can see it. I can see all the pictures. We were just talking about it in office, like how freak out I am just watching like Carlos Condit hitting pads there and Aaron Pickett. That's crazy, right? It's so awesome.
We're having fun, and that was one thing from the quarantine. I mean, the gyms were closed. So, fortunately, my wife gave up her parking space in the garage.
Thanks, wife.
And we converted into a little gym, and I have had a ton of memorabilia and gear and everything that's just been boxed up for 10 plus years. So it was kind of nice to hang it up, make it a little vibe in here, and have the fighters come in. And now the gyms are open, but on a very limited scale and limited activity. So the garage has been nice.
Awesome.
It's been nice.
So who are the main guys? I know Carlos Condit, which is like one of my favorite fighters ever. And Aaron Pico and Jones. I haven't seen Jones there. I don't know. Jones is not getting ready for a fight either. So what's going on with these guys? Bellator has nothing on the schedule yet, right?
Yeah, but I think we're going to hear something soon, hopefully. I've had
nice.
Patchy Mick. He was in here last week. He went back home for a few days, and he's going to quarantine and come back in, get some more work at Jackson Wink, and maybe even here in the garage. We've had Aaron Pico spent a lot of time in here. Carlos Condit spent a lot of time in here, and we've just been having fun. It's it's always nice to kind of change the environment and atmosphere. Sometimes it leads to more creative processes. So it's been fun. We'll keep it going. I'm definitely happy the gym's opening up. It's hard to train a champion out of a garage. I still need a cage. I still need wrestling partners and big mats and all the great minds that are at Jackson Wink and great sparring partners. So we can't do it all here, but we definitely have some fun in here.
So what about Carlos? Is Carlos coming back? He's still in the contract with the UFC. I know late last year, we were talking about, maybe when we recorded this, we were talking about Carlos having a fight that was put on hold or something. Is there anything in the horizon there for Carlos that you can talk about? Of course.
Yeah, I don't think anything's signed yet, but he's definitely ready for a contract if the UFC sends him one. We've been working hard. He's focused, and I think he's ready to put on a great performance in 2020.
That would be awesome to see him back. That would be awesome. So we were talking Aaron Pico. How and I think we talked about that last time too. How much of an improvement this kid made. I have the last. We have about 25 minutes or so left. I have his last fight ready to roll. Do you mind taking a look at that? We can watch the first round and the beginning of the second one when he got the knockout, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Can you see my TV well?
Yep.
All right. This is it, right? Daniel Carey.
Daniel Carey, that was the last opponent.
There was a funny fact that I texted you in one of his fights because he was on the prelims card. I was like, why is this kid on the prelims card? And you're like, no, we actually been asking them to slow down. I was like, oh, all right, that makes
sense. It doesn't change the pressure or the stress of a fight, but let's go in there and get it done and make sure we can go out and have a nice little celebration afterwards.
He got some crazy attention.
This was a good camp, Daniel Carey. We had Professor Roberto Tusa Alencar, who owns all the Gracie schools here in New Mexico and some in California. He's a brilliant professor. Greg Jackson, obviously, and myself.
Yeah. So the fight's rolling, right?
Yeah, it's going, man. Daniel Carey was a tough opponent, very strong, from Arkansas, trained a lot in Oklahoma. He had just come off a victory of Bolanos. Tough guy, man. Tough guy. We knew he was going to be very tense. You know, and here you see Aaron just being patient and using his kicks, which is something we hadn't seen in very many fights from Pico, but very strong legs. There he is pressuring, a little short on the jab cross right there, but there's constant pressure. Terry attacks, Aaron's pressuring. Terry attacks, Aaron, good defense, right back to his pressure, feinting, pressuring. See, Kerry's using a lot of energy right here, and Aaron's just staying patient, staying calm.
Yeah.
Just short with the overhand, just missing.
And one of
but
the
we were
things
seeing
that,
right from the get-go that
and one of the things that we
Go for
talked
it.
about on Jones' strategy too, right? Like people don't really realize, oh, beautiful takedown, but the control of the octagon, right? Like he's controlling and just kind of like
so important. Very hard to fight with your back up against the fence. It makes you a little wilder, a little more aggressive, but start chipping away at it, you're going to find a lot of openings. And I think that had a lot to do with it right then as well, because Terry was feeling the pressure from Pico, so he came in blitzing. He came in tall with three-punch combination. Aaron was just able to level change and you know, slam a big takedown. And here he is in half guard, flattening him out, landing some big elbows, landing big ground and pound. And this is the Greg Jackson protocol right here. That's one thing our gym is very known for, is good ground and pound protocol.
yes, all of your guys, it's like specialists on that. It's like
striking
so
all of
important, right?
So important. And, you see a lot of hand fighting going on here, you know, not just the leg control and the hip pressure, but a lot of hand fighting.
Who's the jiu-jitsu coach there?
We have a few, but Tusa, Professor Tusa is kind of our main one. We also have Harry St. Ledger.
Yes.
He's brilliant. Hinzo Gracie black belt.
Yeah.
Judo Olympian. His brothers in New York as well. Gary and Harry.
Yeah. Funny thing. One day I met Harry here. Harry is always here, right? And that same afternoon, I saw a post or like a live on Instagram with you, and his brother was there, and I was like, "How the fuck he fly out to Arizona so fast?" Then I sent
Twins, man. Twins.
I sent him a message. I said, "How do you do that?" And they was like, "Oh, it's my brother." I was like, "Oh shit."
You know, Rafael, in this first round, we're just seeing Aaron being patient right here with the ground and pound. He's gotten a lot of damage in. Kerry's trying to exert a lot of energy, trying to get up, you know, and Aaron just keeping him posted. And this was a big thing for us, Aaron's ability to just kind of slow down the fight and fight it on his terms. I think
Yes.
guys early on just want to put a lot of pressure on Aaron and get him into a dogfight.
And he will
And,
go for it, right? That
this
was kind of what part of some of the issues were, right?
Yeah, and this fight, you know, this is good. Aaron's getting in his own rhythm right here. He's just able to use his wrestling, ground and pound, control Kerry. And Aaron's so explosive and strong right here in his ground and pound. It's only getting stronger. But this is Aaron's pace. This is his tempo. Very important for us to establish this in this fight against Kerry, who's also a great wrestler and grappler, but I think this shows, you know, Aaron's strengths.
And I love when you talked about this fight, how much praise you gave him for being patient and everything, because that was something we were still to see in Aaron, right? Like he would get like that kind of like, I'm gonna go for it, and he would just go for it. It's crazy, right? They are too tough for their own good, right?
He's a fighter through and through. There's no doubt about it, and teaching him how to be patient in these moments, and you know, the calm intensity, we like to call it. That's something Jones has. That's something GSP has, and we see it out of a lot of the greats. Just being able to be calm here in these moments. Big body shot right there from Aaron at the end of the round up against the fence. But that was a good first round.
Yeah, and you can see the Daniel, right? It's tired already too.
This is only the second time that Aaron has been out of the first round.
I know.
So this is also important for us, you know. Here, sit down on the stool, have some water, learn to be relaxed right here.
He looks great. He looks calm, and he looks, which is perfect.
Nice level change right there.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, then he was able to control for, almost 4 minutes from this top position. So here in between rounds, we were telling him, hey, we're already seeing his tendency to keep his hands low after he throws. So I think Aaron was looking for the counters right away going into the second round. And using his own feints, too. I think the early teep kicks had Kerry surprised, and he was defensively acting very big, pairing, swooping off it. So, you see Aaron come out in the second round and look to establish him again.
Yep. I love to see the camera from the break between the rounds, because that's so honest. Because they're not thinking they being recorded right now. They listening to you. You can see the expressions on their faces. It's like you can see the difference in the face, like how relaxed Aaron was, and the difference from the other guy.
Aaron.
Oh,
there's the big thing. Over.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how about, right out, he parried Kerry's kick. He came in with the jab cross, had him right up against the fence skin. Then Aaron was able to feint. Kerry made a big move, and then Aaron just clubs him. We were happy for him. He's a kid that puts in a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice to have these moments of victory. Oh, never mind. And it was the forearm, too. It wasn't even the fist.
It was a forearm.
One more shot, followed up. So those kicks in the first round really paid dividends. You got Kerry flinching, got him out of position. And Aaron used it wisely.
Yep.
And at the high level, Rafael, the feints are so important, whether it's a level change feint, whether it's a boxing feint, whether it's a kicking feint. This is a game of chess. So you establish patterns, you break patterns. So he was able to establish the teep kick in the first round. And in the second, he was able to break it, feint it, look for the big left hook,
and
get his victory.
He feinted a kick there, dropped both hands, tried to defend the kick, and then it was like, let's go for it. That's awesome. That's amazing.
So, it's cool seeing Aaron's evolution. I know we're going to get to see him fight again here in 2020. I don't know if he'll be in front of a crowd, but it'll definitely be televised. And he's just continued to make so much progress. He's one of those guys that will come out of this quarantine so much stronger. He's been training, staying disciplined, and he studies so much. Rafael, he's just always watching game film. He's always studying himself, his own sparring, looking at the greats, looking at what they did. And I think that mental approach is what really separates the true greats in this game. So I'm happy that he's developing these skills and the passion at such a young age. He's only 23.
He got some great company and some great people to look after too. Now, listen, I can't talk about it enough. You train under the same roof as John Jones, the greatest that ever did it so far. I don't think anyone's gonna get close to it. And then Carlos Condit, which I can't keep talking about it. It's crazy. It's so much to pull from these guys and learn. You can just sit and watch, like if you can sit, if you're lucky enough to sit down and watch Carlos Condit like doing a 3-round spar where he's fully relaxed, nothing on his mind, just moving the way he moves. You gotta be something amazing. If you can get some from a little bit of that, a little bit of here, and put in your game, it's unbelievable.
Well, and I feel that same way myself. I've been fortunate enough to learn under many great coaches, like Greg Jackson and Mike Winkeljohn. But I've also been fortunate enough to train so many different amazing fighters, from Alistair Overeem and Andrei Arlovsky and Diego Brandao, Diego Sanchez, John Jones, Cowboy Cerrone, all these Cody Garbrandt, all these great guys. And sometimes I'll just take a little bit, like, hey, this thing Cody does well, Aaron, I think you would like this. Oh, this thing Cowboy does well, I think you would like this. And we kind of just play and build and see what fits for his style. So it's a cool process. You just have to be patient, very patient, and keep good spirits and good intentions and good communication up, and everything will line up.
It's crazy, right? And I was really thinking Bellator would. I was talking. I do the podcast on Mondays with Q and Gracie, who just signed for Bellator. He's waiting for his first fight. I actually talked to him about you too. I say, look, if you need someone, it's like I'll hook you up with my friend Brendan Gibson, and you go there, you're not gonna regret it. Oh, thanks, brother. He's a big fan, and we talked about it. Say when the UFC had that 3-fight week, right? Like they had an event on Saturday. Wednesday and Saturday again. I was like, everybody's gonna sit back, see how that goes, and then they're gonna make a decision. And I said probably Bellator will come right back, and they didn't. And I'm surprised. And there's nothing in the air. You probably can see it coming, like as people start coming back and training, like you said, right? It's like, oh, those guys are calling. It's like, hey, coach, let's hit some meets and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we got to stay ready too. You never know when you're going to get that phone call. You know, the UFC's been calling up a lot of fighters on short notice. Even one like Hannah Cyphers the other day, she fought like back-to-back weekends. So you never know. You just got to stay ready and trying to keep these guys sharp and focused and not discouraged that there's not fights going on right now. It's like, let's just make the most out of this opportunity, train, improve, get better, and then when it does come time for that walk, you're going to shock the world and get your hand raised.
Yeah,
make another highlight.
Exactly. Coach, I have some questions that I put on a page Instagram and say, hey, send your questions. There's a guy saying here, he's actually a black belt from Rio, Yuri. He's asking if you ever trained someone more talented than Jones that never competed, like those crazy gym guys, you know, that they go there, they fucking beat up everyone. No.
No, there's definitely some tough gym guys, but nobody comes close to the level of the champions, the Hall of Famers. I mean, there's definitely some tough guys, and there's guys that work day jobs and have their family, and they come in the gym at night, and they'll go hard competitive rounds with some of the greats. So those guys are amazing. And there's a few of them, you know, they just come to the gym. They may be grapplers, they may be wrestlers, they may be strikers. So our gym's definitely lucky to have those guys. Not everybody's going to be a champ, not everybody's going to be a pro fighter, but it definitely takes a big team to get people to those levels.
Yeah.
But as far as talent goes, no, there's nobody as good as Jones.
All right. The next question is, can you do a top 5 GOAT list?
A top 5
without hurting anyone's feeling. I don't want you to do that.
So number one, I think it's Jones. I think the record alone,
I agree,
and the champions he's beaten, and the greatness of those champions.
The level, everybody says that, right? Like, sorry to cut you, but it's like they say, oh, Demetrius Johnson. That was like always, right? Like, Demetrius Johnson is the best. I was like, I'm sorry, but you got to look at this through the level of competition, right? Who is beating more talent and more, who has the most tough competition? And that's Jones in any division.
It's Jones. Number 2, George St. Pierre. I really think he solidified that spot when he came back and fought Bisping. I know George had some kind of close decisions there at the end of his welterweight career, but and even his loss against Sarah, he was always able to rebound and push himself and challenge. And I have a lot of respect and admiration for George. 3, Fedor. I love Fedor. I love his run and pride. All the way up to his armbar with Verdum. I mean, that was almost like a decade-long dominance.
He was just a 10-year anniversary of that fight, like this past week, I think. That's crazy.
4, Jose Aldo.
Okay.
I think Jose's run at featherweight is legendary, and he beat so many amazing fighters as well. I think the strength of his opponents is pretty remarkable. And 5, just for what he brought to the sport, love him or hate him, I think you have to go with Conor McGregor.
Yeah, you're right.
The fight with Floyd, all of the eyes, the international, I think he just brought the UFC to another level. And when he went up and got the belt from Alvarez, that was one of the best championship performances I've ever seen. So, yeah, Conor's a polarizing guy.
Can you see the poster over there?
Yeah. I see it.
I said that the other day. I said that combination he hit Alvarez with, it's like video game perfect. It's crazy.
So yeah, I know. Conor, there's a lot of other guys with records, but you know, it takes so much to be a champion. It's not just everything in the octagon. It's the media, it's the presence, it's the sponsorships, it's the eyes and attention you could bring. It's you know, the media interviews and being able to sell a fight. So he had all of those elements. So yeah, I would think that's my top 5 at least today. It could always be changing.
Tomorrow might change, right? We have Aldo fight. You want to risk a pick on the Aldo fight? It's fighting July 11. That crazy 3 title fight. You got Gilbert Burns fighting Kamaru Usman.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one.
And then you
have Kamaru on that. Man, Burns has been looking like unstoppable, but I think Gilbert's coming in hard against a very great champion in Usman. I'm a big fan of Usman's game. I think, you know, it's crazy. They're teammates. They know each other well. I'm gonna give the advantage towards Usman on this.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
Rafael, I have to run, my
you
friend.
have to go, right? It's 5 o'clock. Yes.
Let's get together soon, my friend.
We'll do, Coach. We'll do.
All right.
Thanks, my friend.
See you. Ciao, bro.
Got it, buddy.
Hey, saying goodbye.
Thanks, Coach.